Okay, so this is my on-call binder for the Cognitive Communication Disorders course. My name is Peyton Waldrop, and I'm just going to be taking you through each of my sections. So my first section is attention. First, I have my preventative materials for you, and my preventative materials for this section include strategies for adults living with ADHD. And I also have some tips printed out for how to deal with adult ADHD at work for our adult population. And then my last preventative material for this section are 15 strategies for managing attention problems. Right, and my next part of my attention section will be my assessment portion, and I have the MARS, which stands for Moss Attention Rating Scale. Quick little two-page assessment. And then I have some different activities. When I get to some that are either culturally diverse or for specifically severely impaired, I will let you know and I will kind of show you which tabs indicate those things. So the first thing we have, it's called Sushi Chef, which basically in the activity, you are asking the client to match the order to what the person ordered verbally. So it says, can you circle which sushi rolls have been substituted from the order tray? And you can see that I have different levels of difficulty. This is a medium difficulty. And then also have a hard difficulty if they're doing really well in the medium level. Also includes some bridging questions. All right, and here's my next activity. And this is basically where the client will watch a video. And here's the easy video, QR, medium, and the hard. Once they've watched the video, they're going to be looking for something specific in that video. For instance, they might be looking for this road sign with a butterfly on it. And then the activities are tailored to either easy, medium, or hard. All right, so there's that activity. And then I also have a summer storytelling activity, which basically they will pay attention while you read a passage about summer. And they're going to be focusing specifically on the verbs in the passage, where afterwards they're going to have to put the verbs in order of how they were presented in the passage about summer. And again, I have differentiated easy, medium, and hard. So I have a couple for each level of difficulty. And then some bridging questions. All right, here is my first culturally diverse activity, and you can tell that it's my culturally diverse. I'll be able to access it quickly because I know that they're my yellow sticky notes. And I have some information before you get to the activity that reminds me of who this is, tailored to what population and why. So, this activity is suitable for our Spanish speaking population. It's focused on helping increase attention by having the clients mark either safe or unsafe on certain images. And it also supports the knowledge of safety precautions. So, there are a lot of different task cards where they have to either select if the image is safe or unsafe. This is perfect for our speaking population because it is in their native language. I also have a severely impaired activity where they have to find which one is different in the group. So my next section is going to be memory. All right. So for memory, I have some preventative materials first. I have 12 ways to keep your brain young. And then I also have 15 strategies for managing attention problems, as I felt like that really contributed also to those with memory deficits. I also have some memory loss prevention, 5 tips from a certified senior advisor. For my assessment, I have the GOAT. It's the Galveston Orientation and Amnesia Test. All right, and then I have my activities. My first activity is going to be for a culturally diverse population. This activity is suitable for the Spanish speaking population. It's focused on improving memory function by having clients examine images and answer questions about what they saw on each picture. So, this assessment also has questions for the pictures in Spanish. So, here are the pictures. And then afterwards, they have questions that go along with the pictures that asks them about what they saw in them, which triggers practicing and exercising memory. All right. I also have a couple of different activities here. I have reading a calendar. So this is great practice for an ADL where they are going to be using a calendar that is pre-made and filled out to answer certain questions from that calendar, such as like what day of the week is May 10th on, what date is the first Saturday. So these are really good activities that are practical for the patient. Also, I have a severely impaired activity for memory, which is a daily journal. They would write what today's date is, what they did today, what they saw today, and how they felt. I have another severely impaired activity, and this is names to photos. So they will practice learning the people's names with their photos, and then we'll turn it where they have to label each person's name. I can modify this, make it more simplistic by also providing them with like a name bank once they are on this page. All right. My next section is going to be executive functioning. First, I have the prevention material, and this is my self-made resource. I have that noted here, but I just made a little infographic which basically gives you some tips on how to prevent yourself from having some executive function difficulty. All right. For executive function, I have the EFPT, and it includes scoring manual instructions as well as all the testing material. It is a little bit lengthier. And then it gives you like a scoring summary sheet that you can use to kind of tally up all of the components of the assessment. I also have the FARVs in here for testing executive functioning as well. So this kind of includes the FARVs in its entirety. Next, I have my activities for executive functioning. My first one is um, the client figuring out how many moves are needed to move the pumpkins from the top to the placements at the bottom. I also have these differentiated in levels of difficulty with easy, medium, and hard. So these first two are easy, next are medium, and then the next would be hard. And this also does include some bridging questions and an answer key for quick reference. All right, so I have my next culturally diverse activity. This is my third culturally diverse. This activity is tailored to the population of Spanish speaking individuals. This exercise has clients calculate how many hours an employee worked during the week and how much they earned. The following days and hours are what he worked on. So the employee paid $12.65 per hour, including lunchtime. If you work more than 8 hours a day, including lunch, you are paid time and a half. If you work on the weekend, you're paid double time. So this activity requires executive functioning skills for the client to be able to calculate the information given, and it is given and presented in the Spanish speaking language. And I have an activity for the severely impaired, and it's a fun little escape room activity. It comes with some really good little um, directions that come with some good graphics. Just print and go. All right, so my next section is language. So here I have from the Learning Center some reading comprehension tips. And then I have my assessment portion, which is the language cognitive communication evaluation. And then I have my activities. This one's called split words, where basically they're given a category and they take different segments from a word and they try to put them together, which ones would make a word. Um, like locker, um, pencil, So I have these labeled in difficulty, easy, medium, and hard. And each one has a different category, like American football and forest and kitchen items. I also have a holiday split words edition. So if you're celebrating the holidays and if your client does as well, they might enjoy this, like Angel, Noel. And again, I have easy, medium, and hard for that. I also have labeling common objects for language as a severely impaired activity. And you'll notice all of my severely impaired have these blue sticky notes on them too, so I can easily find them. I can also take a blank one and customize it if there are some common objects that I'm wanting them to be more familiarized, like in their own setting. All right. So my last section is visuospatial function. So my preventative resource is 6 ways to improve your visual spatial intelligence and increase your EQ. I also have strategies to support visuospatial processing needs. All right, and for my assessment portion, I have the clocks, which is an executive clock drawing task. And then I also have the MoCA. And then lastly, I have my activities for this section, where basically they will find their way through a maze from start to end. And I have some different mazes for them. I also have a section for the severely impaired. Basically, they will count how many images are in a square, and then they have choices either 6, 8, or 2. And so this one has 8, so they would circle 8, and this is for severely impaired. I have one last severely impaired activity where basically they're given a certain symbol that they will strike out. So for this one, it would be like that lightning bolt. They would need to strike out all the lightning bolts really quickly. And each page gives them a certain symbol that they're crossing out. Then I have an activity where they will compare figures and they will see if they are identical or different. And if they're different, they're going to circle the differences. And I also have easy, medium, and hard versions of that. All right. And then lastly, I have all of my references that help me along the way. Thank you so much.